or will it be Peixian Wang and Scapeshift being your undefeated player here? And they may know what the other one is playing. When you get this late in the tournament, the players start to sit next to each other for quite a few rounds. They become aware of who else is doing well.
Right.
Todd wins the die roll and goes on the play. They're going to start on Noble Hierarch. It's going to be a suspended search for tomorrow for Wang. And that's got to be a fist pump in Todd's head. What this means he knows about the Scapeshift decks is that early interaction as far as lightning bolts and removal spells is going to be very low.
Right, and even if there were a lightning bolt, Todd has a spell skite here.
Yeah, the turn 2 play of spell skite plus Glistener Elf is very scary for Wang. You see the search for tomorrow goes down to 1.
What would be good for Wang is an Anger of the Gods here, though it looks like there's only 1 copy in the main deck.
Yeah, you see some number of Fire Spouts, Anger of the Gods style cards sometimes. And it looks like it was a 1-lander kept by Wang's side.
Oh, gross. If this matchup was bad.
Yeah, now it's horrible. Todd, Twisted Image on his own Glistener Elf. Okay, that's going to draw him a card. He has a Groundswell. I think he was testing the water to see if he could combo kill this turn.
Right, if there was something that could target the elf here, it would stop him from drawing the card off of the image.
And there's just so much of a green light. I mean, Todd has Groundswell in his hand. He's going to swing Glistener Elf. He might just fire it off here. He's got all the bases covered.
And Spellskite backup.
A lot of times you see Infect players be very slow and judicious on the use of pump spells, but Todd, yeah, he'll just Groundswell. What you should know, if you know the Scapeshift deck, is that they typically don't even play Lightning Bolt.
Right, it's just all about ramping up, getting that Valakut to kill your opponent.
It's definitely a control deck, but it's interesting. The card Lightning Bolt, no good here. They want their removal, because you need to have this critical mass of lands. Your removal needs to cantrip, but it can be soft. So something like Remand is very good. Because you're not really removing your opponent's creatures as much as you're just trying to slow them down.
Right. Remand is at its strongest when you have a game plan that can just end the game. If the spell coming back down matters less, you slow them down, and eventually you just kill them. So that tempo is huge.
Yeah, you see cards like Electrolyze being played in Wang's Scapeshift list. Upkeep, he'll get in a basic island off search for tomorrow, and now does draw land. It's a copy of Breeding Pool.
Of course, at this point, Todd's hand looks like air. There's a basic forest and another Glistener Elf.
Yeah, well, it's 2 attacks from lethal, which may actually just be good enough.
Right, then Wang has found a land for the turn. If he has some Sakura Tribe Elders to get in the way, the game could end up going his way.
Yeah, we see an Electrolyze in Wang's hand. He's going to main phase go at Spellskite 1/1 and Glistener Elf. Now, Todd actually cannot use Spellskite to protect through that.
Right, it's clear that this is not Wang's first rodeo. When you target Spellskite with half of Electrolyze, redirecting does not stop it from hitting the other target.
Right, now, if the Spellskite, if he did 2 damage at the Glistener Elf, then Todd could have redirected.
Right, or like 1 at the Glistener Elf, 1 at Todd's face.
But how's this for a follow-up from Todd? He plays another Glistener Elf and then makes his land drop, which, it happens to be an Inkmoth Nexus.
That's a big swing.
2 turns away. A land is drawn for Peixian.
There is still some pressure on Todd to find a pump spell on this turn. He does have a 2-turn clock here, though.
Yeah, it's a copy of Sakura Tribe Elder from Wang. He did draw Flooded Grove for the turn. So he could have... Remember, once he gets up to 7, because Todd is down below 18, 7 lands is the critical mass for Wang. So, for the record, there is a line where Peixian wins next turn. He can sacrifice Sakura Tribe Elder, if he plays a land from hand, then plays Search for Tomorrow, getting a land untapped, and Scapeshifts. That's lethal if he has all those pieces together.
And we know that he does not have much in the way of lands in his hand, so...
He'd probably have to draw it, but if the other cards are here, it's possible. I mean, you'd think the springboarding from 4 to 7 isn't possible, but it is. It's just difficult.
It looks like Todd did pick up a Groundswell here.
All right, so swings Inkmoth Nexus. Here's the Groundswell. It's going to be an attempt at lethal. There's a Spellskite in play. He has enough mana up to pay for an Izzet Charm. He can redirect for any kill spell. That's going to be it. And game 1 over to Todd Anderson.
Yeah, not surprising to see the Infect deck both win a good matchup despite having kind of an awkward draw. The big thing there was Wang missing that land drop.
Yeah, missing the land drop was really hard for Wang. And, with what he's looking for in the matchup, when I was talking about, end step, Sakura Tribe Elder crack, Search for Tomorrow into Scapeshift, those fast draws are going to be where Wang gets a chance here. Mm-hmm. But it's still going to be tough. We're going to look at the sideboards. looking at Peixian Wang's sideboard first. We see a lot of one-ofs. Now, Leyline of Sanctity is one of the things he has multiples of. That's no help here. What do we like?
Ancient Grudge is good at dealing with Inkmoth Nexus. I do like that one quite a bit. It is a static caster, can deal with most of the spells and Inkmoth Nexus out of Todd's deck. There's a Spellskite, which you can use to redirect pump spells. That's quite good. The extra Anger of the Gods to deal with Glistener Elf and Noble Hierarchs is powerful. Wrath of Gods on the slow side, but it's fine. And Krosan Grip to deal with Inkmoth Nexus seems pretty good here as well. Could even play Negate. I don't really like trying to disrupt Infect on the stack in general. In this matchup, it might be fine.
It's one of the only ways he actually can interact. Now, something that Peixian has in his list is he actually is playing a heavier white contingent that you normally expect. So you see something like Wrath of God in his sideboard. I'm actually thinking it might be good here.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower than the 3-mana sweepers, but you can cast them on turn 3 with any of your 2-mana accelerants.
So for Todd Anderson, the player from Roanoke, he was mentioned before was the runner-up here at the Players' Championship. Holds the record for most Open Series top 8s with 28, 6 open wins. He has also won an Invitational as well as 3 top 8s. Last season, of the Players in the Players' Championship, he had the highest win percentage on the SCG Tour. He's just dominant, to put it short, and looks to do it again here.
Yeah, and this year has been going quite well for him as well. That number 28 is not showing signs of stagnancy. That will only continue to increase over time.
He's going to hope to pass his own age. I think he may be the only player to make that claim.
Yeah, that'd be very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. So Todd Anderson, he's part of that Roanoke crew. You see him over here in his Star City Games gear. You can hop on over to the website over at Star City Games, selling that one as well. It's the official shirt of StarCityGames.com. It's 50/50 cotton poly blend, printed here over in the U.S. Those are for sale both at our opens and online. StarCityGames.com/apparel.
We didn't discuss Todd's sideboard, but he really doesn't have anything that's very interesting.
Well, when you have these combo decks, these linear, straightforward decks, frequently what they're doing with their sideboard is they have a hand-picked 3 cards for a couple. They pick their 5 worst matchups, board 3 cards in them, and call it a go.
Right.
And you see Viridian Corruptor. Okay, well that's for Affinity. Nature's Claim. That's probably also for Affinity. Twisted Images, that kills Spellskite. It's all very straightforward.
Yeah, there's fights that we can pick with Dispel. So it wouldn't surprise me to see that one coming in, but it's not at its best here.
Yeah, Dispel's interesting because a lot of Peixian's counter spells are at instant speed, but the counter spell's not really what Todd's worried about. His deck's very good against counter magic.
Right, it's just the few stray spot removal spells, and they are there, though they are few.
Yeah, you wouldn't be surprised if he made... you could even see a case for no swaps here.
Yes, you could definitely make that argument. I'm not sure how stock any copies of Spellskite are for Scapeshift decks. So for Twisted Image, it's unclear if Todd wants more of those.
He's got to assume that Wang has either punted the matchup out of the sideboard, and by that I mean thinks it's so bad they didn't board in any cards, or he's boarded in some cards. Spellskite's a reasonable one to board in. It's pretty safe for him to board in some Twisted Images.
Yeah, it'll always just draw a card.
So we're underway for game 2. We're going to have Wang on the play this time. Once again, he suspends a Search for Tomorrow on turn 1, and Todd will answer in kind, looking for a repeat of this game with a turn 1 Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, Todd was on the play game 1, but the big factor was Wang's draw really not coming together, missing that second land drop. Has it this time.
Yeah, has second land drop. Now, this should be a sigh of relief on the side. It's interesting. This could mean that he doesn't have a Farseeker or a Sakura Tribelder. And it probably does, because Todd didn't lead off on an Infector. This was a quote-unquote safe turn for Wang. So the ramp's going to be slow here. If he has none of the 2-mana ramp spells, then he's going to be more or less playing 1 land a turn, and he must have a control-heavy hand.
Right. And there's plenty of options that he could have on turn 2 here that are pretty good against Todd's deck.
So for Todd, it's a fetch for Gitaxian, for Breeding Pool. Now he's going to Gitaxian Probe. We'll take the mystery out of Wang's hand.
Right. We'll get to the bottom of this real quick.
We see Scapeshift, Ancient Grudge, Remand, and Valakut.
Okay, so the plan here was to leave up Remand, and it wasn't like he was going off of anything. There were no spells that he really wanted to cast there anyway.
Wang was on a 6-card hand here, if you're wondering. That looks like an awfully small number of cards.
Yeah, it did look a little slim.
And Todd, now seeing the coast clear, it's going to be Glistener Elf. And you saw there, Remand, Grudge... That's those are the reactive spells Wang has, and each of them works sometimes. But with the right mixture here, the Glistener Elf could still go lethal.
Yeah.
I mean, if Todd has 2 Groundswells, he would have had a Peixian dead through the remand. So Peixian, what he's going to do is he's going to remand the Glistener Elf immediately. Todd will just recast it and we'll move on.
Right. Peixian knows that remand is not going to win this game on its own. With that creature in play, Todd has 3 mana. He's going to be able to recast anything. He just wants to draw that card right now.
If Todd goes for a double Groundswell, remand isn't going to stop that from killing him.
Right. And if he could pick up an Anger of the Gods here or a Wrath of God that he could cast, that would be a big swing.
So basic Forest is found off Search for Tomorrow from Wang. He'll draw. Finds Cryptic Command, plays Valakut. He's very far off that card. And we'll see if Todd just green lights here. He knows that Wang has had 2 draws since he last saw the hand. And what I liked about Wang there is he playing Valakut as the land disguises 2 cards in his hand.
Right. Todd already knew about the Valakut.
Right. Now Todd knows that the hand is Ancient Grudge and some question marks, but Todd's going to check again. We see Scape Shift, Ancient Grudge, Cryptic Command. That is a green light for pump spells.
Those were horrible pickups.
I mean, second Scape Shift, that's always a great one. You can Is It Charm it away. That's about it.
Given the hand that Wang was dealt, I think he played this game as realistically as he could have. Now the question is whether or not Todd can just kill him this turn.
Right, and I think he can. It's Might of Old Krosa. That's +4/+4. Here's a swing. Here's Vines of Vastwood. That's 10. And there you have it. Todd Anderson, a quick 2-0, a 4-0 in Standard, a 4-0 in Modern. He is undefeated here, day 1 at the Invitational.